Venom sees release this year, and whilst reaction to the film has been mixed, I personally think it will be disappointing. Tom Hardy is at the helm, and in my opinion he is one of the best actors in the world, so I'm sure anything that he does will be outstanding. However, there are several aspects that I think are missing from the film in order to deliver the Venom movie that fans deserve. These key characteristics are the building blocks of the character, and without them, the anti-hero / villain makes little to no sense. Sony have had a troubled history with Venom in film, and this doesn't look any different. From the massively underdeveloped version in Spider-Man 3 to the cancelled Sinister 6 movie that saw production problems throughout its conception, it seems like the studio can't get a grip on the character. Unfortunately, I don't think Sony have learnt from this and have rushed the movie into being greenlit in order to merely milk the franchise and success of Spider-Man Homecoming. In this video, I will be discussing why I think the film already has Venom wrong and why the continuity of it will cause problems. There will be some spoilers in regards to Infinity War, so if you haven't seen it then I highly recommend giving this video a miss for now. As always, I'd love to hear your thoughts on the film and whether you think it will continue the success of Spider-Man Homecoming, so let me know in the comments below. With that out of the way, I'm Deffinition and this is my explanation of why I think the Venom movie won't work. Venom the symbiote was first introduced as Spider-Man's new black costume in The Amazing Spider-Man 252, released May 1984. The story, coincidentally called Homecoming, took place after Spider-Man's return from the events of the miniseries Secret Wars. This was a galactic Marvel event that saw the Webhead gain a black costume that vastly improved his strength and abilities. Infinity War would have been the perfect introduction for the symbiote. However, we know that after Peter Parker's death in the climax of the film, that he will be unable to return to Earth in time to properly connect the continuity, and from the trailers it seems like the Venom costume simply lands on Earth and is discovered by scientists as opposed to coming back with the Webhead. In the comics, when Spider-Man wore the black suit, his personality was massively affected. Venom became much like a parasite and would not leave Parker's body until it was forcibly removed. This then caused it to find a new host in Eddie Brock, and modelling the look of Spider-Man, if albeit a twisted version, it retained some of his powers and used them to torment the inhabitants of New York City, further decreasing Spider-Man's reputation. This is why the movie makes no sense at all. Why does Venom have the look and possess similar powers to Spider-Man when he has never come into contact with him and bears no grudge that would cause him to mimic the Webhead in order to pervert his image? Due to the fact that their rivalry has been rushed in order to put the movie into production, there is no real basis for the character's vendetta, and he will no doubt seem completely underdeveloped because of it. Mirroring this is Eddie Brock. In the comics, Eddie was a competitor of Peter Parker at a rival New York newspaper. The two were competing with one another in order to get the best story, and often went head to head doing this. As their work affected their wage and livelihood, it was obviously a survival of the fittest scenario. With Parker actually being Spider-Man, he was able to gain many scoops that often meant he won out over Brock, meaning Eddie lost money and this caused him to dislike the young photographer exponentially. This was one of the key factors of both characters that caused them to work so well together. The symbiote side disliked Spider-Man and the human side disliked Peter Parker, meaning that either way Peter was unable to live a peaceful life because of the two threats that were constantly after him. Venom reveals Spider-Man's true identity to Brock, and this made their relationship grow because of their shared hatred. This is an aspect that really drove the villain and caused the two to obsess over Spider-Man and attempt to take him down. So what exactly is the reason that Brock and the symbiote have to join forces? Without this shared dislike for Spider-Man, there isn't really anything that will connect the two in an amicable way. Once again, the studio seem to have rushed out a film without truly considering the logistics and key fundamentals of a character that has caused them not only to appear in a certain way, but what drives them. Venom seems like it is merely gearing up to be a shadowy corporation battles a superhero story, and this is massively missing the potential that the creators can have with the character. To me, this is a huge misstep, and there isn't a reason why this story needs to be a Venom one when it shares none of the backstory, origin, or even motives that are true to the character's core. In conclusion, this version of Venom makes little to no sense. There is absolutely no reason for his appearance to be that of Spider-Man's. There is no reason for him to be a rival of Peter Parker when the character doesn't even compete with him in the same career path currently, and there is no reason for him to eventually want to face off against Spider-Man later down the line due to the symbiote having no vendetta against the webhead. Venom makes little sense and seems like another prime example of a studio putting the cart before the horse in terms of creating a shared universe where none of the characters have the foundation that has created their popularity. In my opinion, this will be a train wreck, and it's sad to see once again a studio rushing out a project with little to no thought, especially when it has such a highly esteemed actor leading it. Obviously this will be a highly contested opinion, so if you disagree, please let me know why with your thoughts in the comments. If you agree with me, then please like this video and subscribe to my channel, as I create content like this weekly which discusses movies, TVs, games and more, and there's definitely something on the channel that you'll love. I recently did a video discussing the end of Infinity War as well as what the post-credits scene means, so please check that out at the end of this video. Thanks very much for taking the time out to watch this video, and I'll see you next time. Take care, peace.